G'day friends, it's Vickywright, Independent Stampin' Up Demonstrator Australia. So welcome back to our series on the online exclusive class. So each Monday for a month or so, for 6 weeks, I'm hoping to do 6 weeks, we're going to be creating and casing some of the products that are in the online exclusives shop. So this week I thought we'd pull out the Basics 3D embossing folders, and this is them here. I'm just going to shoot that aside, big shadow there. So that's one, that's polka dots, I suppose you'd call it. I've just been playing with this, just bear with me. I might clean it a bit. So that's one. Then we've got this one here. It's sort of like starfish. It's a pretty folder actually. And then we've got this one. It's random zigzags, I suppose. I don't know what else to call it, but this is my favourite. So this is what we're going to be using today. Okay, so we'll put those to a side. And then this is the card we're going to be casing. Very easy, simple card, but we're going to be playing, as I said, playing with our embossing folder. So we'll just put that aside, and we'll put that aside there, and I'll bring in a scrap of piece of paper and lay that down there. Bring our folder in, and we've also got our blending brushes. I'm using the blending brushes. You don't have to. You could probably use sponge daubers if you wanted to. Give that a go. And we're going to be playing with Lemon Lime Twist, Tahitian Tide, and Flirty Flamingo. Okay, so we'll put Flirty Flamingo down first. So it's the lightest colour, so we'll do that one first. And I'm going to be inking up the, not the raised side, but the deboss side, I suppose you would call it. Okay, so we'll just grab our blending brush, just tap, 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 and all we're going to do is just blend over it. Now, because it's on the embossing folder, I like to add heaps of colour to this because we will lose some colour. And I'm just going to randomly do it. We won't be using all this folder, but it doesn't matter if you ink up the whole folder. You could just drag your folders across, your ink pads across the folder too if you wanted to. Then I think we'll do Lemon Lime Twist. And I'm just going to do a couple of spots. I'm not too sure how this will work, but you can only play with these things to see how it goes. And I think I may have used the same colours in this sample. So, and then we're going to use Tahitian Tide. as I said, we may not need the whole lot, but we'll just go along. And I think that's all of it. Yep. We will then put our piece of cardstock down. I'm making sure I get it straight. And I don't want to move it too much. And that looks pretty good to me. Flip it over and have a look. Yep. Now I'm going to emboss this and I'll be back very shortly. Okay. Can't emboss in the table because the table rocks too much. It's very, very faint, but that's okay. I'm happy with that. Then what I usually do, straight away, I will then get a wet ones, and I will clean it. Just so I don't forget. And all you're doing is cleaning all that ink out of the grooves, and that should be okay. I'll do this side too. And I'll just leave that open until it dries. We've got a few shadows here during here, so I do apologise for that. So if you wanted to, you could actually go over the top again, but I'm just going to leave it like that. So it'll be a nice, soft, subtle background. Then what we're going to do is grab our trimmer, and we're just going to trim a little bit off the sides. Just down one side. And we'll go along the bottom here, 5.5, I think. So not much at all. Let's get my scissors. Just changes it a little bit along the top. So I'm just going to fix this up along the top. And that's it. Then what we're going to do is lay this onto a piece of basic white, which is why I still need to trim it off a little bit. Okay. So let's trim this off just that little bit more. Actually, I might trim it off. Just a little bit more. And I'll come down this side, just so I know that it's the same. Whoops. All the way around. And fingers crossed, and that's a bit better. So we'll put that onto there. Whoops. If you wanted to, because it's embossed, you don't have to use the adhesive if you don't want to, the liquid glue. You could use the tear and tape or the Stamp and Seal Plus, but when I emboss and use the glue, the liquid glue, I just add a little bit extra. Making sure it's nice and straight all the way around. Just like that. And what we'll do, it's pretty actually, the lemon lime twist looks a little bit, you can see the yellow in it actually. I'll just put that under there just to seal it, or help it seal a little bit better. Then we'll bring in, I've die cut 2 rectangles from Basic White with the all that dies, that shape there, just that one there. And I've also cut 2 banners. These cut 2 banners out that size at the same time. Don't know whether we'll use the banners, but okay. Then we're going to be playing with phrases for all, and we're going to use the thank you sentiment. Okay, and we'll stamp that in Flirty Flamingo. Just make sure that's nice and straight. Ink that up so that it's nice and inked, and it's a nice font, and it's a nice solid font. So I'm just going to try this here first. Oh yeah, that's nice. So this might go out of eyesight for a little bit, so just bear with me. Now I've cheated a little bit, and what I did was I cut 2 shapes just in case I made a mistake, so that's fine. Then what we're going to do is put a couple of, before we do that, I was thinking we might put these either side. I know it's white on white, but I don't mind white on white. The other thing we could do, let's try that, eh? Is just go over it and just add a little bit of colour with what's left on our brushes. I don't want them too bright. I just want a subtle look. It's a little bit different to what our original card is that we're casing, but that's okay. The idea is still the same. I wanted to concentrate on, as I said, the background. So let's give these edges a little bit of depth, and that's it. If we don't like them, we can pull them off. Okay. So all we're going to do now is put one that side, stick that down where I'm going to change it actually. Put one there. And let's put one here, eh? Just for something different. Making sure it's nice and straight. And then we're going to pop these up with some dimensionals, which I did have, and now can't find. That's weird how that happens. So let's grab another packet. Take our sticky lids off. Put one in the middle. And we'll grab our card. So what we might do before we do that is grab our base card, which is Petal Pink. Okay. Because I wanted it to be nice and subtle, I've gone for a light colour. And they've come out fairly light anyhow. So I didn't want the base card to overpower the colours in the background. And we'll just stick that there like that. It's pretty. And it's crooked. That's better. Then we'll grab this and we'll put this smack bang in the middle. Actually, we should have embossed those, but that's all right. You always think of these things after the fact. Then to finish it off, we're going to use some of the brass butterflies, just the same as what's in the original card. Whoops. We'll bring in our take a pic tool. And we'll put, whoops, one there. One about there. We'll grab a little one and we will put one about there, I think. And that's our card, highlighting the lovely and fun 3D, Basics 3D embossing folder, if I can find the third one. That's it there. So that's highlighting these embossing folders from the online exclusive shop, and they're the Basics 3D embossing folder. And that is our card there. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed that. I apologise for the shadows. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If you subscribe to my newsletter, you will get a tutorial for this card, and it'll be sent out Tuesday morning. Okay, and thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. And there will also be a link below to the basics embossing folders in the exclusives online exclusives. Okay, thanks a lot. See ya. All right.